Hello, today we're going to talk about parallel lines cut by a transversal with equations. Alright, so this video is not necessarily about the different types of angles, that's in another video. What this is about is finding equations, or solving equations using two parallel lines cut by a transversal. So I'm going to say that this angle right here is 2x. I'm going to say that right there is 80 degrees. So I need to know what x is equal to in this case. So the first thing I need to ask myself is, are these two angles congruent? Are these two angles supplementary? Or are they complementary? All right, we're not so much going to deal with complementary angles, that's when they equal 80 degrees. So I'm going to take that out, but these are three things you need to ask. So supplementary means that when you add them together, they equal 180 degrees. So they're basically a straight line. Congruent means that they're equal. All right, so to find out which it is, you have to know what type of angle it is. So these angles are actually corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. They are the same angle right there. So now that I know it's congruent, all right, that's my first step. I can write an equation, which is my second step. So since I know they are congruent, which is just the angles term of saying equals, all I have to do is say 2x is going to equal 80. Because they're equal. I could just put 80 here if I wanted to. All right. So now I have an equation. And my third step is solve. We solve it just like any other equation. This is already down to a one-step equation. So 2x equals 80, divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 40. There you go. And this is a basic one of how to solve if you have equations and parallel lines cut by transversal. I'm going to do a couple more examples. All right, this is example number 2. So it's a little bit more difficult this time. But the first thing I have to ask myself, is it congruent or supplementary or complementary? But we're not doing complementary. So to answer this, I got to figure out what kind of angles they are. So they're inside the parallel lines, so they're interior angles, and they're on opposite sides. So these are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are congruent. All right, so that's my first answer, congruent, because they're alternate interior angles. So now I know they're congruent. When it's congruent, I have to equal them to each other, so I can write my equation. So 2x plus 50 is going to equal 70. And from there, this is just a simple two-step equation. I'm going to solve. Subtract the 50 away. So I get 2x equals 20, divide by 2, divide by 2. So my x equals 10. All right, for the third example, I have an equation there and an equation there. Now I have to figure out if this is congruent or supplementary or complementary. But to figure that out, I have to know what type of angles these are. So they're on the outside, so I know they're at least exterior. And if you don't understand what that means, draw this as a car, and anything inside here is interior, anything outside's exterior. So are they on the same side of this line? No. This is on one side, this is on the other. So they're alternate because they're on opposite sides, exterior angles, which means they are congruent. So since I know they are congruent, that means I can equal them to each other. So 4x minus 60 equals 2x plus 40. Didn't plan this out too well. Now I solve. Solving is the same way we've done the entire time. I'm even going to switch back to my colorful markers. If you've seen the other ones, I try to keep it fine. First thing we ask is, do we need to distribute anything? No, we don't need to distribute anything, so then go combine like terms. You combine your variables first, and you're going across the wall. So I need to get rid of this on this side. How do you get rid of something? You give it its opposite. So if I have 2, I add it by -2. So 4 minus 2 is 2x. Then add 60 to get it away. So I have 2x. Oops. Let me change my color. Just keep it the same as I always do it. Plus 60, plus 60. 2x equals 100. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 50. Alright? But now, I want to know what these angles actually equal. So we'll call this one right here A, B, C. I want to know what angle A, the measure of angle A, B, C is equal to. So to find that, I take my 50 and I plug it back into that equation right there. So to find the measure, 4x minus 60. Plug the 50 in. And that gives me 140. There we go. So the measure of angle ABC is 140, and the angle down there is also 140. So it's not enough on some of them that you actually find what x equals. You actually have to plug it back into the expression to figure out what it is. All right, now for the very last one. Is it congruent or is it supplementary? All right, I have 2 on the exterior. Again, if you want to draw your car, connect it there. Broom, broom. You can do windows if you want. Whatever you want. There's a car. It's on the outside, so it's the exterior. Are they on the same side or the different sides? They're on the same side. So it's same side exterior angles. And that means they are supplementary. All right, so what supplementary means is that they will add up to 180. So instead of equaling them to each other because they're congruent, these are supplementary, so I have to add them together. Oops, let me write down. When I make my equation. So 3x plus 50 plus 2x minus 10 equals 180. Now I solve. Alright, first thing I do is look to distribute. I can't distribute anything, so I have to combine my like terms. I'm going to combine my variables first. 3 plus 2 is 5x. Bring everything else down. Now I still have like terms, 50 and -10. Combine those to make 40. Then minus 40, 5x equals 140. Divide by 5, divide by 5. X equals 28. Right, now that I know what x is equal to, I can plug it back in for one of the equations. I'm going to plug it in for this one because this is the angle I want to know. I just need to know, I wanna know what both angles actually equal to. So I'll call this A, B, and C. So 2x minus 10, plug in the 28. 2 times 28 minus 10, that's 56. Minus 10 is 46. So this angle right here is 46. And if that's 46, since this is supplementary, you can subtract it from 180 and get 134. Alright, this has been parallel lines cut by transversal equations. Hope it helped.
Miss Oliver, call the front office, please.